Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis of gold and silver. We're going to take a look at a couple of market conditions like dollar, 10-year yield. We're going to look at the precious metals themselves, the prices, ETFs, and individual companies. And we're just trying to gauge what the sector's doing and follow it. I'm a bull on the sector. I think it's going to go higher over time given the market conditions of inflation, eventually rising interest rates. And when you have those two go up in tandem, it creates the conditions for money to rotate into these sectors. So let's, again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice or anything like that. Do your own research, make sure it fits within your investing strategies. But let's get in here. I'll give you my opinion on what is happening in gold and silver. So we have the dollar's decline in here. It was a pretty big decline here. And then we got gold that was moving higher. And I would say in this section in here, what the heck happened to gold? Dollar shot lower, gold went higher and basically shot lower again, like it was wanting to go up, but it was being held down in this little section here at between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Somewhere in that range, 8 to 10 a.m. Kind of weird. Now this is the dollar. Keep in mind that we're at 93.36. That's where the star is at. It broke to the downside today of this pattern. And let's see if this thing sticks and we can close lower and move lower. I am under the impression that the dollar is going to go down. If China has problems in its real estate sector, I would suspect that the dollar would go down if we have inflation because their currency would strengthen. So I'm looking for a lower dollar. And I know this is against a basket of currencies. But in an expansionary phase of real estate and inflation, we should see a lower dollar over time. Here's the 10-year treasury yield. We've got the support line going across here. We're kind of bouncing on up. We pulled on back again, but again, we're still above this trend line. And I suspect that this trend will continue until it is broken. So I would say higher. Looking at gold itself, we've got the downtrend line here. We're right there breaking it. We're above it, sitting out, right above it. And I think it's about to break. The line in the sand is about 1837, 1835, somewhere in that range. We need to break that and close above it for us to make a new high, which I would then be ultra bullish on it, saying that we would potentially move to the upside here. We have broken the downtrend line. We are making progress towards that 1835, 1837 plus close. Silver's looking good. We broke its downtrend here. Yeah, it came back a little bit, but I still think the trend is up. And platinum's looking a lot better. It broke its downtrend here, the line, that I haven't drawn in here. Here's the line right here that it has broken. Right there. And yeah, sometimes they pull back a little bit like it's doing. And the candlestick right here today looks like we're trying to put in a little bottom here. So let's see if this thing can turn and move on higher. I think it'll be explosive if gold can also move up with these other metals. They kind of move all in tandem. And then copper's looking good. It kind of did this retest today. We broke the trend line to the upside. Nice big buying pressure, smaller selling pressure coming down. I think we're going to do a retest right here, which we're doing, and I think we're going to head higher at some point soon. So that looks good if you're looking at copper companies. GDX, so this is an ETF, GDX, and we broke the downtrend lines. They usually break, and then they usually pull back, do like a little pullback here, and that's what we're doing. We're pulling back. How far will this pullback go? Not exactly sure, but we have support underneath it at $32-ish all through here. Looking at SILJ, I think it's doing the same thing. We might have a little bit of a pullback before moving higher. So we break out, we pull back a little bit, and then we take off. EXK is doing that same type of pattern. Nice big move higher from 380.90 all the way to 522. We'll probably have a little pullback, and then we'll move on higher eventually. Hecla Mine is doing the same thing, just consolidating sideways before moving up, just resting before the jog higher. Discovery Silver is doing the same thing, just it's more volatile. All the way below $1, all the way to $1.41. This is about a 50% move up. And sometimes they like to pull back a little bit. We have support right underneath it, but it looks good. Yamana Gold. Now, some of these gold mining companies, it looks like they want to sell off a little bit. Yamana Gold's selling off. It finished a strong close lower. Will this break through the support all underneath it? We'll have to see. 410's got good support down there. We got Franco-Nevada going the opposite direction. This thing looks like it wants to go higher. A bullish engulfing pattern, which usually indicates that we want to move higher. And what a bullish engulfing is, opening and closing price engulfs the day before it. It's a candlestick pattern, which usually means that it resolves upward. Wheat and precious metals, very similar to Franco-Nevada. It's just been cruising sideways. I'm waiting for buyers to step in. Hopefully we can see buyers step in gold, which would push this stuff higher. Now, something that's a little confusing is we got Newmont. This is a pretty big down day, 4.55% lower. But I do think we're still on an uptrend. We've got the downtrend line break. We're coming back, doing almost a retest, and then we'll see if we can move higher. So I'm still positive on that, and I'm still positive on Barrick Gold. Yeah, we had a big down day today. We've got the trend line. We're still above the trend line. We could come back and even kiss this trend line and then move higher. So everything looks intact all over the sector. Everything looks good. Yes, we're seeing some down days in the short term. Don't let that impact you. Don't get afraid. Just kind of ride this stuff around because we're above the downtrends. We're broken to the upside. We're doing our little pullbacks. We break out, we pull back a little bit, and then we're looking for a takeoff. Gold's looking pretty good. It does not look bad. So I'm hopeful that the buyers can step in here and push it higher. I don't want to see sellers come in here and lay down a big fat candlestick that is a reverse candlestick. The market conditions look ripe for this to do well. Does it mean that we have the exact right timing? Not exactly sure. I mean, things look like they're breaking down trends. It looks like things are going to move higher. So I'm hopeful that we can move on higher over the next weeks and months. But we'll continue to monitor it. We'll see what the patterns give us in the future and what the herd's doing. But I do think eventually this will resolve upward. I think it is of great value. And I think the market conditions are ripe for this to do well in the long term. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.